I thought the two things that stood out the first time we played them was, one, their ability to get fouled. I think last time we played them, they took 49 free throws. Tonight they took 32. And there was a huge discrepancy, I think, between the free throw line between us and then the last two games. And then, the other part is the turnovers. I thought really hurt us with the number of points they scored off of our turnovers. That was really the game. Thought our guys battled and competed, but those two areas are, with the discrepancy, were way too difficult to overcome.
You said going into the game, there was no minutes restriction on Taj. It seemed like he got off to a good start in terms of disrupting them inside, but he only finished with 13 minutes. Was there a particular reason why?
Yeah, we had a really difficult time, I thought, getting back out to Kaminsky, to Marvin Williams, when they had their bigs out there. And with the way the game was going, he had a couple of buckets in around the basket, to your point. But we really, with the way they were playing defense on the post, had a hard time with all the help they were bringing. And, just tried to use Jeremy a little bit and try to play a little bit smaller and switch, some of their actions. And that was kind of the reason why he maybe didn't play as much. Plus, I thought to start the third quarter, and he may feel differently, so I don't want to speak for him. He didn't have that same kind of pop I thought he did, and obviously he's been sick here and in bed, so I think he gave us everything he had while he was there. And when the third quarter started and they went on that 13-0 run, we dug ourselves such a big hole. I just thought we could maybe find something a little bit different. Not that Taj had anything to do with that. It was just more just trying to sub some guys in.
The turnover struggles, you mentioned them a little bit. Most of them were live ball turnovers, I think 18 or 19 steals or something like that for Charlotte. What was really the issue specifically on the live ball turnovers that you guys kept giving them up?
Throwing to the other team. We had some of the things, we had talked about, even this afternoon, was the way they play defense. They're going to sell out to protect the paint, and the perimeter's wide open. And I thought in a lot of ways we did not move into open areas that we needed to move into to exploit and take advantage of that. And they got their hands on a lot of balls, and they were really active. And again, we can't turn it over. It was really a whole team thing. It was everybody kind of contributed to that. But I really felt like I thought the two most important things going into the game, well, three most important things, was defending the three, keeping them off the free throw line, and taking care of the ball. And obviously we struggled to do that. We made, I think, one more three than they did, but they still made 11.
You guys took some momentum heading into halftime. What were you all not able to kind of carry over into that third quarter? Or did you feel like you brought the same kind of level of energy and intensity to the start of the third, or what was different?
I personally feel that I enjoy playing games like this for our team, and I don't mean this in any disrespect to Charlotte. They're desperate. They want to play in the playoffs. They're laying it on the line their last 5 or 6 games. I like playing against desperate teams because what it does is exposes what you have to do, in my opinion, to really compete and play at that extraordinary high level. I mean, give Charlotte a lot of credit. They played an exceptional game. They played really well all the way around. They had a lot to do with how we played. And I think that's the thing that our team has got to get to in terms of being young is you come out against San Antonio, and I actually thought we played very well. I thought we got hurt in the San Antonio game on some offensive rebounds, loose ball situations, and some timely shots by them, and being able to come back and do it again, at that same level and that same kind of focus and concentration. And I think it's very good for our team to be able to go through performing the way we did against San Antonio and then having to come back on a quick turnaround and kind of refocus and go out and do it again. And I think that's what great teams do. They can do the same thing over and over and over again and again and again. And I think that's the challenge for our team and where we're trying to work to.
Billy,
Does it just take experience doing that to get there? How do you sort of instill that at this point?
Well, listen, our guys, are great guys, and they work really, really hard, and they care a great deal, but there's just certain experiences they have to go through. I mean, the reality of it is we have 3 rookies, in our rotation, and I'm not saying any of this happened because we had 3 rookies, but, Taj is new. Our team's a lot different, and these guys are going through it in a different way. And as much as you want to expedite and speed up that process, sometimes that's difficult. To me, I mentioned this to our guys yesterday. Like, I knew coming in it was a really, really hard game based on the circumstances of coming out of the San Antonio game with what happened in that game. I mean, I got asked about it before the game, so I knew it was going to be a challenge. But now that it's in front of them, I think every player being able to get to that level, is what they've got to look at and focus on to try to be able to do that.
Billy, the last few games, you've had quite a few turnovers in the first quarter early. You tend to settle down, and particularly Russell doesn't have many after that. But tonight, the turnovers just kept coming. Why do you think things never did settle down for you the way they had been?
Again, I think the way they were, what they were trying to take away, the ability to kind of read those situations and make the correct pass. I actually thought, Barry, we were making the right decisions, but we were poorly executing the right decision, is I think what happened a lot of times. And, we talked about that at halftime a little bit, but the fortunate part, the reason we were down by 5, I don't know how many turnovers we had in the first half, maybe it was 11 or 12, but they were right behind us. They had turned the ball, and they're very, very good at taking care of the ball. That was uncharacteristic for them, so that we didn't get hurt too bad. But I just thought just their hands were very active. They pulled across. Were forced to throw the ball to the perimeter, and I think we tried to do that sometimes, and some other times we didn't do it as effectively.
Billy, Russell's wearing a wrap on his right hand, and I don't know if I'm imagining that he was shooting more with his left around the rim or not, but it seemed like it. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. I mean, the biggest thing for him is just that blister from that floor burn. I think for him, when he goes down and he hits the floor, it makes the healing process for him a little bit prolonged. But he's fine. I mean, I think in some respects he actually may be left-handed. He's certainly great at finish with his left hand, but he's not. He's not trying to play left-handed, so to speak. I think he just went to the rim and finished that way. But he's fine. It's still the floor burn that he had. I forget what game it was where he tore the skin off his hand.
Anyone else for Coach? Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.